No, because my song was not happy and peppy.
No,
I told Steve I told Eddie, didn't I? What did I say, Eddie?
You said he was going to pick my song.
That's right.
And I'm a witness. I'm a witness.
Because it's happy and peppy. But it's nice that you have memories like that, and that songs like this strike that chord, and I know exactly what you mean. So if I wanted to cry, I would pick your song. So anyway.
If I wanted to cry, I would just listen to you.
Hey, you're the one that keeps having me come back. So you must want to cry all the time.
You know, people actually do love, me making fun of you. So.
And people love me making fun of you.
No, they don't actually. They get very upset about that. So.
Yeah, not my friends.
What do you mean? What do you mean your friends?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Whether
All right.
you like it or not.
Yeah. All right, we got to go to a break. We'll be right back.
All right, go to a break. Goodbye.
Go away.
OM 1240. Big banks offer you everything these days. Bank from home, bank from your phone, even apply for a loan from anywhere you are. It's called Big Bank Tech, and it's pretty cool. Did you know you don't have to go to a big bank to be pretty cool? Navigant Credit Union offers their members all the big bank tech without the big bank. And if you want to come into a branch to see us, we'll make you feel like you own the place, because you do. We think that's pretty cool, too. Navigant Credit Union, member NCUA.
Woonsocket Door Sales can handle any kind of door installation, including residential and commercial, paying special attention to your door's infrastructure, such as framework repair, to ensure that your door is firmly in place. Woonsocket Door Sales is a fourth-generation family business, installing and repairing all types of doors. Please visit their website at woonsocketdoorsales.com to see a gallery of door styles, manufacturers, and testimonials from satisfied customers. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. Call Amy Bebo at 767-3448.
Hi, this is Steve Peluso, owner of Peluso Precision Automotive in Mendon. Since 2017, Peluso Precision Automotive has been your destination for auto care, transmissions, and general classic car repair. I've had a passion for classic cars since I was born, and I started hanging around a gas station when I was 7 years old. Plus, I have more than 40 years of experience repairing the classics. So if you have a 53 Bel Air, or a 67 Mustang, or a 71 Dodge, and it needs servicing, bring it to Peluso Precision Automotive, 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon. Peluso Precision Automotive is your vintage car specialist, so give us a call at 508-478-8900. And remember the number, it's 508-478-8900.
All right, we're back, and give us a call at 401-766-1240. Now, Rick, you grew up right around the corner here on Ward Street. You've told me some stories. I'd love to have you share some of your memories of growing up in Woonsocket, and specifically right around the corner.
Well, actually, when I was born, we lived on Ward Street. I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. And we moved to an apartment on the corner of Pine Street and Union, which Pine Street's about a 25% of the way up Park Ave if you're coming from Precious Blood. My grandparents bought 2 buildings over there. So we were in one, they were in the other. And a memory I have from that place was I was living there when we had the blizzard of '78. And I thought it was, looking back on it, it's pretty cool. But one guy went and wrangled up all the boys in the neighborhood, and we dug one path down the entire length of Union Street, and then went back and shoveled the path from that path to everybody's front door. And, back then it's like, I don't want to be doing this. But in hindsight, it was kind of cool that the guy got everybody around to do that.
Sure.
And then around my grandfather passed away in '78, so my grandmother sold the property.
And who was your grandfather? People may remember him.
Did I tell you that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you probably did, but my memory is shot.
My grandfather was Alphonse LaFerriere, who was actually a city councilman.
That's right.
In Woonsocket. They actually put in his obituary that he was unsuccessful in his run for mayor. But I don't even remember you and I having that conversation. It's funny that you asked me that. And as a matter of fact, interestingly enough, my son, who will be 20 in March, his middle name is Alphonse. And for a kid that age to have that name, you would think it's kind of weird, but he knows what that grandfather meant to me. So whenever the subject comes up, he'll say what his middle name is, but he says it with a lot of pride because he knows what my grandfather meant
Yeah,
to
he
me.
knows he's not named after Capone.
That wouldn't be bad either. But in 1979, we moved to East Woonsocket, the true East Woonsocket. And I always joke around about that because people who are towards the upper end of Cass Ave try to claim they're in East Woonsocket. And to me, that's not East Woonsocket. But that's where I consider that I grew up. I think I was in the 6th grade when we moved there. So that's where I consider growing up there. But Union Street too. So I wasn't out on Ward Street for too long. But I just mentioned to you, I cut through Ward Street to get to the studio here. And anytime I drive by that property, it's a big driveway because it was a 6-family house. And it's got a little bit of a slope. So as a kid, we thought it was a mountain because we put our tricycles at the top of the driveway and stand on the back of it and hold onto the handlebars and go down the driveway. And we thought that was like going down Mount Everest. And I drive by there now and I look at it and I go, geez, it looked a lot bigger when I was a kid.
Everything did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get back to more memories in a moment. But in the meantime, good morning. To who am I speaking?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello?
Oh, good morning,
good
crew.
morning, Moose.
Hi, Moose.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Gary.
Morning.
Two nice songs. Two very, very nice songs. This last song you played by Elvis. What year did that come out, Gary? Any idea?
You know, I don't know. I don't think it was ever released as a single. It's off of the From
That's
Elvis
right.
to Memphis.
Sounds later. It sounds later.
Yeah, it's probably the later half of the
Like
60s.
60s, maybe.
I can look it up.
Yeah, I could look it up too. But anyway, it's a very, very pretty song. Never heard it before, but I'm going with Such a Night. That's just a good song. Got a nice little background to it, but it's two great songs by Elvis. So I never argue when Elvis is playing. So I'll go with Such a Night. I do have an Elvis question, however. What is Elvis' biggest selling hit internationally? It sold over 20 million records. Elvis had a lot of hits. And for a little side info on the question itself, it's actually a cover song and a personal favorite by Elvis. Sold over 20 million copies worldwide. What is it? And I got a commonality for you guys. Okay, we got a scribe in the in the house, Gary.
I'm doing my best, Moose.
Hi, Louise.
Hi.
Hi. All right, we got a young girl. Cookie, lend me your comb. Steely Dan. And Maurice Chevalier.
That's one of a kind.
Young girl Cookie, lend me your comb. Steely Dan. And Maurice Chevalier. That's what I got for now, guys. Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Bye-bye.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning from Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey, Tim.
How's the weather?
Beautiful. It's about 65, sunny.
Yeah,
That's good. Good. Drop one of those digits and you probably have it right.
it's so hot out there it turned the ground white.
Yeah. Well, it's not that much warmer out here. It's 40 degrees in the morning, so it's chilly. And it only goes up to about 65. But you know what?
That's a shame.
I want to vote for the Elvis song.
Which one?
They're both Elvis songs.
Don't start.
So I thought about this, Gary. You realize I've never once voted for one of your songs? So I don't want to break that tradition. I'm going to go with Eddie.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more.
All right,
happy
just
and
so
happy,
just so
as
you
say.
know, it was 2 degrees yesterday morning, and it was about 0 this morning. So why don't you just stay out there in Arizona?
I know. I got a phone call. My dishwasher froze, so they had to unfreeze the pipe.
You didn't pay him enough.
It's the dishwasher. Well, listen, everybody have a good day. I'll be listening in.
Thanks for your vote.
All right.
Okay, Eddie. Take
Thanks
care,
for
buddy.
nothing.
Bye.
Bye, Tim.
Bye.
All right. I have a text from Sharon. She says, Gary, you have successfully made me well up on my way to work. Your song gets my vote today.
What's her name, Sharon?
Sharon, yes.
That's how he gets his votes. We never see them, but, you know, it's like the hang.
Take his
like
word
the
for it.
hanging chair.
So, all right. Well, Sheila, where are you, Sheila? You got to vote for a song here. We did this just for you. And Rick, do you have any see since nobody's calling in at the moment?
Let's see.
Very unusual.
You know what? One memory I have is I shouldn't say it, it's a shame, but the way Main Street looks today compared to when I was a kid.
Geez.
Woonsocket's Main Street.
No comparison.
That's where you went to do all your shopping. There was no, Target or Walmart. It was a big deal when Caldor came to Woonsocket.
Do you have sidewalk sales?
Yeah. I mean, you had Woolworths. Where was Caldor? Is that what you had?
Yeah, where was Caldor?
It is. It was on Diamond Hill Road. When they built the second plaza. One of the first stores.
I'm thinking of Workshop as well.
McDonald's was at the beginning of it. There was some discount store there. Well, actually, there was a theater there. There was a cinema. Caldor. I think it's where Burlington is now. Is it Burlington Coal Factory that's there now?
Okay. Yeah.
That was originally Caldor.
Well, see, I'm from the Blackstone Valley, like lower Blackstone Valley, like Pawtucket, Central Falls, and I remember a Caldor when it came to Lincoln Mall, but
Yep.
that's not really as old as
I
other things like
remember-
Woolworths and Grants.
I remember Grants, yeah.
Probably where they moved to.
But going back to Main Street for a second, you had Woolworths, you had Social Department Store is where you went to get your clothes and your shoes.
McCarthy's.
McCarthy's
I
was
remember
there.
McCarthy's.
Ogier's Menswear.
We had a Kresge's coming after.
Kornstein's.
Kornstein's was further down. Yeah.
And where City Hall is right now, I believe that was originally the library.
There was a
before
library in there.
Yeah, that's where we went for the library.
But
when
there
I
was a
kid.
library on Social Street, too,
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember that.
on the second floor. It was a division of Harris.
Okay.
Right after, you know where Yvonne's Photo Supply was?
No,
When
we
it
were just
before-
talking about that a minute ago,
Yeah.
too.
Well, it was originally on Social Street. Where can I describe where it was? Smiley's Restaurant, right at Social Corner. This is way back, though. This is in late
I thought
50s.
Social Corner was an expression. I didn't think it was an actual
Social
physical
Quan.
place. Social Quan.
I was just
Yeah.
going to say, we always said social grant.
Show me down the baby
But
show me down the baby
there was
the stairs. his
there
hat.
was a branch there on the second floor of Harris Library, Social Corner.
When you say social, I think of Carol's Hamburgers was still around when I was a
Oh
little
my
kid.
God, Carol's Hamburgers.
Fernandes
Oh, my
Supermarket
goodness.
was right over there.
Yeah, that was originally a bowling alley, Woonsocket Bowl.
Is that right?
I was there the night Rocky Marciano cut the ribbon for the Woonsocket Bowl.
I had a buddy in junior high school. You speak about a bowling alley. Do you remember Carbine Lanes?
Yeah,
I had a buddy who was a pin setter. They didn't have automatic pin setters. You threw your first ball, you knocked a few pins down. There was a kid back there that was cleaning out
that's
the dead
what
wood.
Moose. That's what Moose used to do.
Is that right?
Yeah, he talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you said Carol's Hamburgers, and I don't remember the one. We didn't travel to Woonsocket a lot when I was a child, but Route 1, which you can, from Pawtucket, you can easily get to Route 1 in Attleboro, and there was a Carol's Hamburgers on Route 1 in Attleboro, and you know, as a kid, you think you died and went to heaven because you had a Carol's Hamburger.
I didn't know that was a chain. I thought that was the one in Woonsocket was a one and only.
Well, the similar name on Route 1 in Attleboro, and I think there's like a Taco Bell or in the general vicinity of Taco Bell and McDonald's now.
You say Route 1 in Attleboro, and my first thought is Jolly Charlie's. Remember that?
Yes,
That was a big deal
best
to go
cheese
there.
pizza.
Oh, just to be able to go there and go on the rides. That was a big
Or-
deal
or
when I was
Jack
a kid.
Witchy's.
Jack, that,
Yeah,
is that the
the wrestling,
wrestling place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
wrestling place.
Chief J Strongbow.
Yeah.
Who is actually Italian. Well, the backstory on that is my sister is an RN, or was, she's retired now, but she worked at Rhode Island Hospital, and one of her patients was affiliated with Jack Witchy's, he he's just started dishing the dirt on all. Yeah, and Chief James Strongbow isn't even Native American; he's an Italian. That's the only one I remember. But Black Jack Mulligan and Pedro Morales. Oh my God! And my cousin has pictures of going there. Jack Witchy's.
That was the biggest fire trap around. Boy, if they ever had a fire in there, that thing would have went up like a match. I can't even believe they packed all those people in there.
But you mentioned Main Street. I'm more familiar with Main Street in Pawtucket because we could walk from Central Falls to Main Street in Pawtucket, and they sound like they have similar histories because all the big shops were down there. We had a Grant's, we had a Woolworths, Schartenberg's. In my stuff, I can't get rid of the hat box my mother had from Schartenberg's, and my father bought a suit. I remember going, I think it was Schwartz, if I'm remembering correctly, where you could go to buy a men's suit. And I still remember going to Schwartz with my mother and father so Dad could buy like a new suit. Yeah, fond memories of that. Yeah. And especially around the holidays, because the Leroy was like the entrance to the Main Street, and they would have these elaborate decorations in the middle of that intersection with the Leroy and the beginning of Main Street, and as a kid you were just awed by all the lighting, and that disappeared real quickly, but yeah, we had.
You know, it's funny when we talk about going shopping over there. It's like social. When I said social department store, as soon as I say social department store, one of the first things that pops into my head was that was around the time when MasterCard first came out. And if somebody put their credit card down to pay for something, you didn't just run it through a computer. There were no computers back then. So they'd open up a book. And I don't know how often the book came out, but all these stores would get this book. And they'd look for your credit card number in the book. And if it wasn't in the book, you were okay. If you were in the book, it meant your account was in default or something like that. And then they take the card and they put it in this little
I never knew that. I remember the little machine that they put it in.
They slip with the card and slide it back and forth. But yeah, they had to look in the book first. They give you a receipt. Yep.
Carbon page.
You got your carbon copies before.
God, what a humiliating thing. You're in the book. Oh my God. So hey, we gotta go to break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is ON AM and FM.
WOON Woonsocket.
At Menard Lockature Funeral Home, we focus on partnering with you to plan a loving remembrance for those we've lost. At any venue of your choice, whether a church or our home, whatever your preference, whether for burial or cremation, planning a loving remembrance with a personal touch is our mission. Special music, a dove release, even a motorcycle escort, anything that you deem appropriate can be a part of your loving tribute. Menard Lockature Funeral Homes, Woonsocket in Manville.
This ON AM and FM radio weather forecast is being brought to you by Bourget and Associates Incorporated. We're a nationwide provider of a wide variety of due diligence and business financial consulting services. Visit our website, bourgetgroup.com. More clouds than sun today with a high near 30 degrees and a calm wind. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 12. Friday's weather, sunshine and a high of 30. Saturday, sunshine and a high near 29. On Sunday, partial sunshine and a high near 37 degrees. Monday, sunshine and 34. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 37. And next Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 31 and a west wind.
Whoops, there goes another Imperial car.
Imperial Car's $75 million clearance event is going on now. Over $10 million of discounts. 2,000 vehicles discounted up to $15,000. Hurry in. When they're gone, they're gone.
ImperialCars.com. Whoops, there goes another Imperial car.
All right. right, we're back, and good morning. To who am I speaking?
Hey, guys, seems that it's a little slow, so let me see if I can paddle.
I have visions of poor Woonsocketonians with their fingers just about ready to dial the phone, and their fingers are frozen stiff.
Social department store.
Yep.
Fast Eddie. Now, you're probably the only one that knows this. Maybe Rick. You know, of course, you know where Duchamp's Variety Store was located, right?
Yeah.
Rick, any idea? Are you familiar with that name at all?
What was the name again?
Duchamp's Variety Store.
On Providence Street?
Oh, no. It was in the social area.
Oh, no.
It was actually right across the street from St. Anne's School off of Cumberland Street. Well, it just so happens that the owner of Duchamp's Variety Store worked at social department store as well. And he was one of the big shots over there. And that owner ended up adopting me. He and his wife adopted me when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I ended up modeling clothes at the age of 7 years old for social department store at St. Anne's Hall in the basement of the church. Little did I know, about 10 years ago, I would go to social department store and buy clothes at the age of 15 or 16 years old. Now, they had a big book in there, if you remember Fast Eddie. You'd buy something, they had a big book like an insurance book. You know, when the insurance guys used to go around each weekly and collecting insurances?
Yeah.
You know, it was like a big folding book, probably contained about 500 or 600 pages. And it was more like an accountant's book. But it was actually a record of you buying merchandise at social department store. I don't know if you recall that.
It was for credit, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was, and that's what when you said that, Rick, that brought up that memory. I said, oh, that big book they used to have, and you know they'd sign if you buy a pair of slacks or a couple of items of you know, maybe some shirts and stuff. They'd put down into the book, and they looked it up the credit. Okay, you're all set, Marcel, Mr. Lucier, and you know, you owe us $17.99 or whatever it is, and we'll see you next time.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a true story. That triggered that. That triggered that memory, Rick. So I like that. I like that very much. The commonality that I put out is happening right now, as we speak. Right now, as we speak. And the Elvis song, any idea? Nobody's biting on this. I don't know where everybody is this morning.
Oh, I can tell you the best-selling Elvis song in this country was Heartbreak Hotel.
That was his first big hit, 8 weeks at #1. And Don't Be Cruel and Hound Dog was actually spent more time at #1 on the Billboard charts. That was his biggest hit as far as the Billboard charts. But this was internationally his biggest hit, 20 million records. A cover from an old song. It's a big hit.
Was it later in his career?
No, it was not, Eddie. No, it was not. He was riding high at the time, at the peak of his career, in the late 50s. So,
was it a religious song?
I beg your pardon, Louise?
Was it a religious song?
No.
Cover song.
No. It actually was performed by another artist in the late 40s, and is actually a song that's probably maybe 100 years old. Now, the last hint I'll give you is that It was originally sung in another language. That might give you let the cat out the bag.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's now or never.
Oh,
It's
solo
now or
mio.
never.
Oh, solo mio.
20, yeah, oh, Solo Mio. There it is. That song you used to learn in school. They taught you that song for some reason or other.
In your school.
Yeah, in my school. Maybe Eddie too, right, Eddie? You went to Social Street School.
Yes, I did.
I don't know if, remember we had a music class?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we had music.
Yeah, we had music class.
Miss Mantino, was that her name?
Well, if you can get that, well, I'll be damned.
Well, that explains it. She sounds Italian.
I think it was Miss Mantino. I'm not sure.
Miss Mantino. So, anyway.
My French students are all speaking English as a second language, and we're going to make you learn an Italian song.
That's a real long time ago, but that's true story about Social Department Store and the Duchamp Variety thing, all connected, and St. Anne's Church as well. So we'll leave that commonality out. I had something else, but I don't know if you guys, you got another call, Gary? I will disperse.
Do what you got to do.
Okay. Here's a real big commonality. Louise, putting you to work.
You are.
Yes.
She loves it.
3 Dog Night. This is a little, maybe a little obscure, but what the heck? Let's have a little bit of fun. 3 Dog Night. Grassroots. Commodores. Rag Doll. The Vogues. The Crests. Roseanne Cash.
Jeez.
Wait a minute.
Birds.
She's running out of paper here.
Yeah, it's a long one. The Birds. You had to interject, right, Gary?
Continue on the next page.
The Birds. Dolly Parton. And I'm Not in Love.
With this commonality.
With this commonality, and probably everybody will hate me.
Okay, shall I repeat?
No, God, no!
Yeah,
That's our show.
Go ahead. That's what you're there for.
3 Dog Night, Grassroots, The Commodores, Ragdoll, The Vogues, The Crests, Roseanne Cash, The Birds, Dolly Parton, I'm Not in Love, and A Partridge in a Pear Tree.
All right, and if you want to throw in a partridge in a pear tree, you may, for being so succinct and detailed of writing that down.
Okay.
That's the number one.
Crazy commonality. I'll give you the answer for the other commonality at the end of the show. So,
All right.
thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Mr. Patience.
Yeah, Mr. Patience.
Is that Bobby?
As soon as he said he had an obscure commonality, I said, well, Bobby hasn't called in yet. So.
No. I was watching my the counter on my phone click up, and it was nearing 10 minutes on hold.
Wait.
Oh, you got in early today.
Haven't heard.
You get paid by the hour, so don't. I'm not going to cry for you.
Yeah, well, you guys are mentioning it. You're lamenting T-shirt weather. I'm in a T-shirt. I wear a T-shirt year-round.
Well,
And it's gotten warmer. It's 24 degrees.
it's 25 here. So.
I haven't heard either Elvis song, or if I have, I don't recall them. So,
Well, Such a Night was certainly,
but
a well-known song. The other one was an album cut, so you may not have heard it, but.
oh, my dad loved Elvis, so who knows? So I'm going with your song, Gary.
Well, thank you.
And I have a kind of a real estate question for Rick.
Okay.
My best friend from Town Fair, he and his fiance live with her grandmother. Before her grandfather passed away, they put a reverse mortgage on the house. Now my buddy and his fiance are looking to buy said house. Can that be done?
Absolutely.
Okay. I thought with a reverse mortgage on it, you couldn't do that.
Not only can they buy it, depending on what the value of the house is and the balance on the reverse mortgage, if there's enough equity in there. I assume Grandma is now the owner of the house solely?
Yes.
So she could actually do something called a gift of equity. The way I like to explain it to folks is if you've got money in a checking account, a savings account, stocks, CDs, those are all assets. Well, the equity in your house is an asset as well. You could give a gift out of your checking account, your savings account, your CD, your mutual fund, and you can give a gift out of the equity too. So depending on what Grandma wants to walk away with in proceeds of the sale, there's an opportunity for them to get into the house with nothing out of pocket.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Okay.
Have him call Rick.
I'll have to
Can you
email you later, Gary, and get the phone number.
Okay. I'm looking right now to see if I have your phone number. I'm not sure that I do, but.
Or wouldn't that information come
I don't.
on the infomercial that will follow this program?
Yeah.
Thank you, Louise.
Well, you can never count on people having a pen to write stuff down. So,
True.
Yeah, we'll get you the information. Thank you, Bobby.
Okay, all right. Talk to you guys later.
All
Bye-bye.
right. All right. Hey, we're late for a break. Let's go, and we'll be right back.
Your station for news and sports. ON 1240.
Every once in a while, you meet a businessman that you just can't wait to do business with. Steve Peluso of Peluso Precision Automotive at 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon, Mass. is such a man. He specializes in mechanical repairs of vintage and classic cars. And if you don't have one, you'll want to have one just to share the experience with Steve. Maybe you had one in the past, never had a resource like Peluso Precision Automotive to keep it running and chase down parts for you, but now you do. Stop in and see Steve, and Steve will steer you in the right direction. Call Peluso Precision Automotive at 508-478-8900. That's 508-478-8900.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
This ON AM and FM forecast brought to you by Design Wood Floors in Blackstone. Design Wood Floors is dedicated to the fine art of designing and installing unique wood floors. For questions or ideas about wood floors, call Design Wood Floors at 617-967-4071. More clouds than sun today with a high near 30 degrees and a calm wind. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 12. Friday's weather, sunshine and a high of 30. Saturday, sunshine and a high near 29. On Sunday, partial sunshine and a high near 37 degrees. Monday, sunshine and 34. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 37. And next Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 31 and a west wind.
All right, we are back, and we don't have a call at the moment. Yeah. Do you want to brainstorm Moose's commonality?
Well, we were starting with the first one because Young Girl, we were saying, is by Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. Cookie Lend Me Your Comb, thanks to Eddie, he noted that the song was sung by Connie Stevens, but it was about Ed Burns, I think.
Yep.
Steely Dan, I passed over because when I was thinking about Maurice Chevalier, I always associate him with the movie Gigi. So when I thought of Gigi, I thought of Asia. Steely Dan, but that's just how my mind works. But he said the clue is it's happening right now. So sometimes he has a phrase that he each clue means a different word and a phrase. So I'm stumped at this point. And then with the other commonality, it's a mixture of song titles, mostly artists, but there are a couple of song titles. So the one that was stuck out the most to me was I'm Not in Love. And wasn't that by 10cc?
Yeah.
I'm Not in Love, so don't forget it. And then Ragdoll was by Frankie Valli, and it's like, where is this going? I don't know. So, anyway, hoping for a call or someone else's insight. But that's my thought process.
Sometimes it doesn't help to have too many.
Yeah.
You know, 3 or 4, you know.
Well, for example, had I had time and would have been able to listen to your entire programs over the last few days, I came upon this fact, and I gave this question, I think about a week ago, and I never gave the answer, so I'll just blurt right now. I said, which series of books it was a series of 3 books. It started in 1977, and the authors were Irving Wallace and his 2 children, David Woloshensky and Amy Wallace. And the book that I was looking for was the Book of Lists, because I can't wait to put my hands on my copy, because it's a source of commonalities. It's does anybody else on the panel remember that book, the Book of Lists, and then it was volume 2 and then volume 3. Volume 1 came out in 1977, 1978, and I remember getting my hands on a copy, and it's all really obscure things, like actors and actresses who started out in religious life. And I think Fred McMurray, as an example, is on that list. And that came to mind because I was doing what Bobby does. I was on the internet, and I came across all these people, and I'll list some of them. Mia Farrow, Judy Collins, Joni Mitchell. Do you remember the actor Johnny Weissmuller? He was also an Olympic swimmer. Tarzan, as my cousins would say.
Tarzan.
Tarzan.
Depends on what side of the tracks you're from.
Johnny Weissmuller. There was an American female Olympic and U.S. champion figure skater, Tenley Albright. She became a doctor.
No? Dirksen?
No, Dr. Tenley Albright. Wilma Rudolph. She was a track star and Olympic champion. All these people from different walks of life all have one thing in common. It's something that they all experience. And I was like, really? And the biggest clue I can probably give you in music, Itzhak Perlman, violinist, famed violinist.
Yeah.
They all had polio.
Oh.
Mia Farrow had polio as a child. Joni Mitchell, Judy Collins, Johnny Weissmuller, and it fascinated me because he became an Olympic champion. Dr. Tenley Albright was a champion figure skater, both in the United States and at the Olympics, and she became a doctor to concentrate on childhood diseases like polio. And Wilma Rudolph practically couldn't walk as a child, and she became the track star. And I think her claim to fame was either in the 1960 or 1964 Olympics. I thought that was fascinating.
It's inspiring. It really is.
Yes.
It's, what you can overcome as a person is unbelievable. Good morning. To my speaking.
Hey guys, Becca. I'm going to give you the answers real quickly, and I'll give you the wrong commonality backwards. And Louise, you're on the right track, but you got away from something. But I can understand how you could with my obscure commonality, because you got nothing better to do. But actually, this didn't take me that long. So I'm not in love. 10 CC. Dolly Parton, 9 to 5. The Birds, 8 miles high. Roseanne Cash, 7-year ache. The Crest, 6 nights a week. The Vogues, 5 o'clock world.
5 o'clock world.
Ragdown, 4 seasons. You went with Frankie Valli. That's what threw you off. Yeah. Commodores, 3 times a lady. Grassroots, 2 divided by 1. Love. And
1 is the loneliest number that you ever knew.
Dog 91.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. And this reaching 10 to 1. Probably would have took you 4 years and 18 hours and 2 months or whatever to get it. But it was something. But now the other commonality is happening right now is young girl Gary Puckett in the Union Gap. Gary Puckett. Cookie lend me your comb. Louise, you're on the right track. Ed Burns. Now the other half of it. Steely Dan. Ricky. Don't lose that number.
And Marty Chevalier, Louise. Like you never heard that before. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That's a good
That
one.
was a real good one.
Studio.
Yeah.
Everybody in the studio. You think I'd leave you out, huh, Ricky? No. No.
That was actually the song that got played as I walked into my surprise 30th birthday party.
How about that? Huh. Hey, guys. All right. Thank you for your time.
Very good, Moose.
That was good. Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, those are both actually pretty good.
Yeah. Once it's deciphered, it's like
10, 9,
If
8,
Carl was still with us, he would have. I don't know if he's listening or not, but we haven't heard from Carl for quite a while. Carl would have gotten those probably because he was really good at those.
Well, they're fun, but sometimes you need more time.
Yeah.
Like you
And
need
well,
to
if
think
you were
about
home
it.
listening, so you could focus on it, you probably would have come up with at least one of those two. But all right, well, we are almost done here. Rick, do you want to introduce the? Well, I'll kick it off here. Reverse mortgages. Please do yourself a favor and listen to the next 15 minutes after this program's over, because I can't express enough the relief that I feel as a person with no retirement, a lot of equity, like 90% equity in my home. That reverse mortgages are really going to be a lifesaver. If I passed away tomorrow, if it wasn't for reverse mortgages, my poor wife would be poor, and I don't know what she would do. And that's not a very comforting thought if you love your wife or your husband. Reverse mortgages are a way to just make your life so much easier, and it's comforting to know that it's there. Maybe you'll never use it, but it's there if you do need it. And Rick is going to really answer all kinds of questions about that. So, Rick, just to kind of do a preliminary introduction of yourself here as a mortgage broker and where you are and everything. So they'll hear it again on the infomercial, but we can't express it. The significance, especially to our demographic here. Everybody who listens to this show is an older person, and if you do not have a huge retirement account, I mean, they want you to have millions of dollars in your retirement account to be comfortable. Well, I don't have anywhere near that kind of equity, but what I do have is just going to come in real handy someday.
Well, the reason you said the demographic part is because you do have to be at least 62 years old to qualify for a reverse mortgage. And sometimes people will say it's a very misunderstood loan product, but at the same time, it had a lot of features to it that just were wrong, and they've been fixed and or corrected. The biggest one was that if one spouse was 62 and the other one wasn't, then the one who wasn't had to come off of the deed in order for the reverse mortgage to go into effect. And then when that spouse died and the other spouse wasn't on the deed, they basically lost the house. That's been fixed. So when you have what's called a non-borrowing spouse, even if they're not on the loan, they can remain on the deed or the title to the house. And then if that first spouse who was qualified passes away, the spouse that survives doesn't lose the house. There are just a number of different things that have been fixed. And the reason I've become very passionate about the product today is because so many folks are in situations similar to what you just described for yourself. And they're not in a place where they're going to have a comfortable retirement, but they're house rich. And one of the reasons that a reverse mortgage gets a bad rap is because a lot of times people think it's the path of the last path that they can take. They're stuck and they have to do this, where more and more financial planners are actually incorporating these in their financial plans for retirees. So it's just something that needs a serious look at. And look, it's not for everybody. I've been doing this for 33 years, and my attitude is there's no one loan on the planet that's worth my reputation and my career and my license. If it's not for you, then I'm going to be totally honest and say this isn't the plan that you need to be taking. But when you sit down with a family, that's what you do. You sit down with the family, the heirs to the estate. Everybody sits down so everybody knows what's going on. And I can explain where a better legacy can be left if this is incorporated in the plan.
Yeah, and for those who never heard of reverse mortgages before, it's very in basic terms, it's getting you the equity in your house. It's just using that, and you don't have to pay it back. I mean, it comes out of your estate when you pass away.
The statement I like to say is you worked hard for the equity in your house. Now let that equity work hard for you.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but all your questions will be answered in the next 15 minutes right after this show. So hang in there, listen to Rick, and give him a call if you have any further questions. He'd love to hear from you and meet with you. In the meantime, thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow with Lynn and Steve, and I don't know if Marie's coming in. Possibly Marie and Eddie and myself. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
WOON Woonsocket. The following program is paid for by Network